Hey, it's Iris. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Are you the kind of person who tends to worry a lot and overthink and overanalyze things? You're not the kind of person who just leaps and assumes or has faith that everything will be okay. So when it comes to planning your next career move, for example, you want to make 100% sure that you're doing the right thing, that you're making the right decision, and minimize the risks that come with making a move. Plus, you want to make sure that you don't regret it later. But as a result, you find yourself going round and round in circles in your head and ask yourself questions like, what happens if my boss finds out that I'm looking for another job? Or what happens if I take the job and I'm terrible at it? Or what happens if I don't actually like the job or the company or my boss? Or what happens if I don't make it through probation? Or what happens if they announce a redundancy round? Will I be the first one to go? Or maybe you find yourself thinking, will my CV be good enough? Won't they laugh at me when I apply for their job? Or what if I take the job, I accept it, but the pay is terrible? Or what if they want me to start straight away? I mean, I've got 3 months notice. Or what if I take the job, but an even better opportunity comes along at a company that I'm currently working for? If you found yourself nodding along, then please know that you're not the only one having these kind of thoughts. I've seen many people with the same kind of inner battles. It's very normal to have these thoughts, so please don't beat yourself up about it. But having said that, these thoughts are not particularly helpful. You know that as well as I do. So in today's video, I'm going to share a few tips to help you stop overthinking your next career move, to help you stop worrying and overanalyzing things. But before I go there, as usual, please like this video if you like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will tell me exactly what kind of content you're into and it will help me to grow my channel. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's start with the reasons why you might be overthinking or overanalyzing things. Am I right to guess that you don't like uncertainty? Don't worry, most people don't. We human beings are hardwired to avoid uncertainty. Our brain likes to be in control. It likes to know what's going to happen. Studies have shown that a sense of uncertainty about the future generates a strong threat or alert response in our brain. Our brain perceives uncertainty like a pain, something to be avoided. Certainty, on the other hand, feels good, it feels rewarding, so we tend to steer towards it. And that brings us to another reason why you might be overthinking or overanalyzing things, and that's because you believe it's helpful. You believe it's helpful to weigh up all the pros and cons and to go through everything in great detail. And yes, whilst there's absolute merit in doing that, it gets problematic when you take that too far. It gets problematic when you don't know when to stop thinking or analyzing things. Because there is a point when you have done your due diligence. There's a point where you have enough information, where you weighed up all the pros and cons, where you've thought things through properly. And yet, somehow, you might think that you need more. You might think that you need more information, that you need more answers. You need more certainty. And that is the crux. There's always going to be an element of uncertainty when you're planning your next career move. There's always things that you won't know, that you can't figure out right now. You'll never be 100% sure that you're going to make the right decision. You just have to try. Like anything in life, that's the only way to figure out. Just try and give things a shot. Now, I understand that's easier said than done. So here are 4 things you can do to stop overthinking, overanalyzing, and worrying about everything. Number 1, step out of it. The first thing to do is to get out of your head. Break that cycle of thinking and analyzing everything. And one of the best ways to do it is to literally stop thinking. So go for a walk, go for a run, do some yoga, take a shower, take a bath, meditate, cook, dance, shake it up. This is especially important if you're feeling very overwhelmed, not like yourself, if you're feeling like you're about to have a panic attack, like you can't escape it. And the aim here is to take a step back and detach yourself emotionally from whatever is going on right now for you, from whatever is triggering you. It's similar to when you're having an argument. The best thing to do then is not to react, but to take a step back, to breathe, and to get back to it later when you're feeling more calm. The second thing to do is ask constructive questions. So once you've stepped out of it and you feel less worked up, less overwhelmed, less stressed out, then ask yourself 3 constructive questions. And these questions are, number 1, what can I control in this situation? Number 2, what's the best thing I can do next? And number 3 is, how much does this matter 5 years from now, 5 months from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 days from now, and even 5 minutes from now? Now, that first question, what can I control in this situation, will force you to focus on the things that are within your control, the things that you can do something about. So let's say, for example, you've been asking yourself that question, okay, I've seen a job that I'm interested in, but what if I apply and I get it and I actually don't like the job, or I don't like my boss, or I don't like the company that I'm going to work for? Instead of asking yourself that, you should ask yourself, what can I control in the situation? Well, what you could control here is you could reach out to people who work at that company to learn more about the culture of the company. Or you could find out who the hiring manager is, who your boss might be, and ask for an informational interview to ask more about the role and get to know them a little bit better. Or you could ask someone who currently does the job, who does a similar job, what the job is like. So then the next question, what's the best thing I can do next, will help you to take action and move forward and reduce some uncertainty and give you some extra answers and extra clarity. Then finally the question, how much will this matter 5 years from now, 5 months from now, 5 weeks from now, 5 days from now, and even 5 minutes from now? That will help you to put things into perspective. Let's use the question, what if I don't like my job? What if I don't like the company or the boss, as an example again here? So if you ask yourself, well, how much does this really matter 5 years from now or 5 months from now? On the one hand, you might realize actually this matters a lot because you're talking about your next potential job here. So if that's the case, you'll make an even bigger priority to speak to the people who work at that company and to get an understanding of the company culture, of the job itself, maybe meet the boss. So you have the right answers and the right information to inform that next step. Or maybe on the flip side, you realize by asking how much does this matter 5 years from now, 5 months from now, that in the grander scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal if you do make the wrong choice, because you can always leave and find another job. All right, the third thing to do is to talk it through, because sometimes we really can be our own worst enemy. We get way too caught up in our head and just go round and round and round and round in circles. So when that's the case, one of the really helpful things is to talk it through, to reach out to someone and instead of mulling it over, get it off your chest and talk it through. But it might also be really helpful to get someone else's perspective, to help you see a side or different angle that you hadn't considered before. When you speak to someone though, make sure you choose wisely, because you want to speak with someone whom you respect, whom you trust, and very importantly, who knows how to listen. Now, the fourth and probably trickiest thing to do is learn how to deal with uncertainty. Look, life is inherently uncertain. You just can't plan everything or have all the answer. It's just not how it works. But if you have a high intolerance for uncertainty, you'll probably try to plan and prepare for anything anyhow as a way to avoiding or eliminating that uncertainty. And that's when you end up overthinking and overanalyzing things. So if you want to address this problem by its root, then it's really helpful to learn how to deal with that uncertainty. One way to do this is to start really small. So let's say, for example, that you are meeting a friend next weekend at 3 p.m. Normally, you plan everything. So you tell them, okay, we're going to meet at this restaurant, our favorite restaurant, a cafe, at 3 p.m. and we'll see you there. Now, next time when you see them, instead of saying that, either leave it with them and let them decide where you're going to meet, or tell them, well, you know what, let's meet at 3 p.m. at yours and we'll see where we go after. Now, this is just a random example, but the key is to not plan or prepare for something that you would normally plan or prepare for. Then once you've done that, then stretch yourself and try not to plan or prepare for something a little bit bigger. And I'm not saying to just stop planning or preparing for things altogether, but simply to sometimes let things be and to let things unfold. It could really help you to stop overthinking and overanalyzing things. All right, so those are my 4 tips to help you stop overthinking and overanalyzing your next career move. And if you watched it all the way to here, I'm guessing that you liked it, so please leave a like by hitting that thumbs up button. It really means a lot to me. And also, I'm quite curious, which one of those 4 tips that you find most helpful? Please let me know in the comments. All right, so next week I'll be talking about whether or not you should contact recruiters when you're looking for a job. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell right next to it so you get a notification as soon as I publish that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.